BK,
what's up, man? How you doing?
what's up, man?
What's up?
Dude, I'm sweating my balls off in Florida, man. It has been like 100-degree temperature down here the entire time. It is hot and it's muggy, and man, it's just one of those things, man. Horrible.
Yeah, I can't say Texas is.
How do you do it in Texas, man?
I can't say it's much cooler, man. It's hot. It's hot every day. It's 100 degrees every day. But fishing's good, man. You know, I like the summer and
Right
the
on.
winter. Spring, fall, meh. Not for me. Not for me.
Yeah.
Fish roam too much, man.
Well, I mean, the fish are so-called predictable, but man, it's they've been, I don't know, man. The big ones are just not really firing right now, but it's all good, man. It's all good.
Mm-mm.
We got a crazy week, man. We have a crazy week going on. Man, with we got to get ready for KBBT. The team event's coming up, man.
Yep.
Really need a couple more teams to get lined up, man. Let's go. Let's go. Talk about the team event, dude. Let's go.
I mean, why would you not want a shot at Derek Brundle and Matt Conant? They've won back-to-back years, and you might get a shot at Greg and myself. So, I mean,
oh, dude, bring the fire, man! Look at this. Absolutely. We got some new guys that are signed up for this, man. The man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Marty Hughes is coming out, man, of retirement. Let's go. Let's go.
Who's going to be his teammate?
James Francis.
Okay.
Yep. From Team Kayak Jack. So that's going to be fun. A lot of guys from Florida there, man. Some new guys that are joining us. I mean, we got some new blood coming on, man. So I think we need 32. So we got 7 more Englishmen to sign up, man. But they've got until next week when it starts, dude. But let's go. Let's go.
And is Rob Richards still looking for a
partner?
A partner?
Yep. And I know
Dude,
John
that's a solid
Lessman,
partner right there, man.
Oh, no doubt. I know John Lessman is going to sign up, so him and Brad will become a team. So I think we only need like 2 more teams, I think, to sign up or something like that. So anyway, to get 16 teams, man. So it's a solid bracket, man.
Dude, it's
gonna be fun.
Get signed up, guys. That's gonna be a fun, man. We're have some bounties out on some teams. Bounty on Greg and myself. I mean, can't.
Oh, Todd Patrick's upset at Facebook, man. Look at that. Can't comment via Facebook, but he can comment via YouTube.
Well,
that's what happens when you
views on.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you threaten the president of the United States, there, Mr. Patrick.
Yeah.
So, anyway, good stuff, man. Good stuff, dude. I told BK, man. I'm like today, man. I feel kind of like I kind of want to like dog people and like just go after them and be like this just jerk, but I'm kind of in a good mood, man. I don't want to kind of do all that. You know what I mean? Like we've had a great week, man. We've had a great week, KFL. We signed on a new sponsor, Cross Kicks. Very happy with that. I spoke to the owner, Eric Jurgensen. Awesome guy. Very happy with that. Things are going well with obviously 3 Bells and Rip It Energy. Can't be any happier, man. We got 3 solid sponsors with the KFL. What I'm proud of, there's 2 of us that are non-endemic sponsors that have joined on with the KFL, man. The owners, are doing their thing, and the teams are just, really trying to capitalize on this. Not only that, man, we're already setting up for next year. We're already talking about next year's sponsors coming lined up. Next year teams are coming on. Man, it's just going to be, dude, things are happening. Greg Crass was working on some stats and some spreadsheets, talking to Justin Query today about coming on, trying to do some KFL fantasy stuff. Man, there's a lot of stuff going on, man, right now. And it's all good. Everything's all heading up to positive directions, man. Good stuff.
Yeah, the stats that John put out were pretty cool to see. Fan of that. A lot of John Fox's name up there. A lot of Cully McGowan.
Yep,
guys have been performing very well. And then we're going to have a little program schedule change for you guys. We're going to start doing the KFL review show Monday nights.
Yep,
we'll announce MVPs on there. So and then kind of just like quick. I'll use the term loosely, like Sports Center recap. Highlights, lowlights, scores, matchups. If it's not a close game, we're probably not going to talk about it at length. If it is a good game, we'll talk about it a little bit.
So here's the deal about these, like the MVP announcements. Look, we're going to do the announcements, okay, and then we're going to fight your ass right here on this show about it. You know what I mean? Like, we'll do the announcements, and then we'll handle how it's rigged, and we'll handle how your guy didn't win, or, you know what I mean? Like, you guys caught, like, 150 inches in your same freaking hole that you fish in every single freaking lake, and, blah, blah, blah. We'll fight you here about it, like, straight up, because you're talking about two of the voters right here. So we'll announce it there. Comments, you're more than welcome to comment there. But we'll address all the comments here, man. We'll fight you, like, straight up.
Then we're gonna move HiNDsiTe to Thursdays. Going into the weekend, give us a chance to talk about tournaments coming up that weekend, KFL matchups, all that kind of stuff. So it'll be a nice.
That's
nice
what we're gonna do tonight, man.
Change.
Hey, we got week 4
coming
up, man. We're gonna
transitions right into what we're doing tonight because
and
we're back, baby. We're back.
Yep, we back. We back. Now listen. This is me and Todd did a show come Sunday, but this is where we're going to lay the hammer down and just tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to tell you the truth if you like it or not, man. So sit back, buckle up, and if you get your feelings hurt, man, hey.
I hope we don't hurt
cheers.
Some feelings. I hope some people are excited to get back out on the water.
Nah, man, dude, it's been a big layoff, man.
I know Carl Hegarty's ready to get back out on the water.
I try to get Carl on. Hey, if anybody's out there and can ping Carl Hegarty, tell him there's an invite in the inbox. We want him to come on. We got to talk about a little bad blood going on right now, man. It's a little KFL drama.
Heated.
Speaking of bad blood, speaking of crying, man, did you see all that stuff that John Fox was doing this weekend, man? He was crying big time, man. Couldn't handle the grinder. Man.
I thought y'all were going to kill him.
Dude, the sheriff got promoted to governor. I'm sorry, man. Like, I don't know what else I can do to prove myself here, man.
Florida does not have a good record against you in Florida, and I think they have yet to come to Virginia. So hard for Florida to complain anymore.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, it was a tough. In all seriousness, man, it was tough. It was actually a lake that has produced bigs, consistently. And when we got there, dude, we got to this area that, again, it's like Jurassic Park. And when fish are not boiling, there's nothing moving on top, and we're there at the right dawn at night. Boom, right there. 5:30 we kind of got in there. 6 o'clock was lines in. Nothing was moving. Like, it was weird. Nothing was moving. And, I was like, okay, well, I put the frog down after an hour. That wasn't going to happen, man. And just did some work, kind of subsurface, man. But, man, I was shocked that it just didn't happen, man. But it's like that. It's been like that for a couple weeks here.
That's the lake.
It's been like that a couple weeks here, man.
That's the lake. Last time you fished it, Brad Case threw up like 109, right? Is that correct?
Yes, exactly.
Okay,
man, Todd is full of piss and vinegar today, man. Yeah, Todd's full of piss and vinegar, man. Todd, dude, the show's gone off the rails when we start talking about WNBA.
Yeah, I'm like, Todd, take it easy, man.
Yeah, it's
bad for your heart.
That's what Michael Thornton said, man. Invite him to Virginia. Yeah. And here's the deal. Like, after that game, everybody's like, oh, like, you need to come to this lake. You need to take me on this lake. Like, look, guys, why do I have to do all the work, man? Like, you come up to Virginia. Like, let me put your butt on the river up there, man. Let me see what you guys have, show you kind of a little bit. Not I'm going to talk about the Potomac River. I'm going to put you on the Shenandoah. Or I'm going to put you on, like, the Upper Potomac. Something you guys have never seen before. Yes. Y'all be crying. Be like, oh, my God, it's moving water. What do I do? Yeah. Like, these guys would have no clue what would it be like to go to outside their ponds down here, man.
Oh, tough, man. I think you're 5-1 versus Kasperick and 1-0 versus Fox and 1-0 versus Bishop. So all in Florida too.
Yeah,
pretty good. 7-1.
Jack Timmons, you can stay your ass home. We don't need you back on the Potomac. You stay in Connecticut, buddy. I didn't challenge you. You sit there, Mr. Rusty.
Well, man, we got lots to talk about with KFL, dude. Let's get
man.
Get cracking.
Let's get to it. So we'll kind of talk about all this kind of going on, but there is one particular matchup I really want to spend some time on because it is juicy.
Oh,
Okay,
we got to talk about all of them in depth, man.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
So here it is, man. Here it is. Boom. Week 4. I mean, straight up, like
initial. Let's start with the roster, man. Anything jumps out to you?
Yeah, Justin Lacasse. I think he's fishing like phenomenally. I mean, the guy is on the guy is, you know, it's like BK. I don't know about you, but I believe in complete momentum, confidence, seeing the water clearly. I mean, look, they don't think this is people says that this is not a sport. It absolutely 100% is a sport. I mean, you have like momentum is a real thing. This is a guy that is not doing anything wrong. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. He's making good decisions, finding good areas, having good practices. He's not burning up his fish. He impressed me on that 2-day at Winnipesaukee, man. And we finished 3rd. But you know, he led day 1, didn't have a great day 2, but he wound up still finishing top 3, which is solid. But I think Justin Lacasse on this deal at Crescent. I understand Crescent Lakes is no joke. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But I like Justin Lacasse, man. I like what he's doing, man.
Yeah, he's been on fire, man. I mean, there's no real other way to say it. Like, you go to a national 2-day event and you lead a day and then you finish top 3, like you're doing something right. But we have Maine favored, man.
We do. Yeah. I mean, obviously at home you get 3, but I mean, look, Brady Olette at home, Jason Gardner, Keith Brown, Tim Spry, that's their best 4. You know what I mean?
Ooh.
I think that's their best 4 going in right now. And they're, you know, these guys. Now, this is known from 3 Bells as the sandbag game. Both of them could be sandbagging their way all the way to the end. You know what I mean? This is like, you know, sandbag bowl 1. You know what I mean? Because both of them do it. They both do it, man. So, yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun, man. But I think, man, look, you know, Tim Spry's been doing a lot of talking. And Tim Spry's been like a little bit bitter about the MVP and all this other stuff. Hey, man, listen, don't worry about all that stuff, okay? Just freaking fish. The MVP will take care of itself, right? Look, you know, I mean, I know it's a big award and all that stuff, but just fish, man. Everything will take care of itself. Show us something, man. Show us something. Let's see what you got.
The MVP stuff is so funny to me. People think like we don't look at every matchup or look at numbers, home, away, what it means within a division. Like, I mean, come on, dude. Like, there are multiple guys that have great weeks every week. There's a ton of teams. It's like we have to sit there and spend half a day arguing about it. So
yeah,
it's not.
Well,
like,
who do you got? Who do you got, dude? I mean, who do you got between Rhode Island and Maine?
Man, I just, man, that's tough. I think I'll go Maine.
Yeah.
Slightly, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if Rhode Island can.
Oh, Matt Conant
together.
Matt, is Tim the Crescent King also? I don't think so. I think he's pretty good at China Lake. I don't know what he does at Crescent. I have no idea. I mean, all I know is these boys. I know Keith Brown is pretty good at Crescent. He's having one heck of a freaking practice I've seen.
Yeah, I think Keith Brown's going to show up big in the match.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think Maine takes it, but again, dude, but you look, Rebels went to Massachusetts, beat those boys. If they beat Maine back to back, man, look out.
Yep.
Look out.
You know I mean, Greg's no slouch. Justin's no slouch. I actually don't know a lot about Neil. Sorry, Neil.
I'm looking forward to Neil. I'm looking forward to see what he does, man. I hear he's a stick. I don't know anything about him, man, but let's go. Let's see what these boys have, man. Yeah. All right, next matchup, man. This is gonna be a fun one. This is the Bay State itself rivalry, right? Bay State Attack versus Massachusetts Maulers. These guys are going to be on the water, man, together. They know each other. They're all MAKB or whatever it is, Massachusetts Kayak Bass Anglers. DLS Ken Woods Trail, man. They all are fishing. They all know each other. They all know Charles River, man. Bay State Attack, to be honest with you, man, I like Mike Elrick and all, but, man, you got to show me something, man. Like, being just competitive is just not enough, man. I got to see a road win. I got to see a road win against a quality team like Massachusetts. This is your moment, man. Like straight up, this is your moment. Let's go. Let's break the ice. And if you guys can put Massachusetts Maulers in the grave on this matchup, man, now we're talking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and for the Maulers, man, I just don't see it, dude. There's no way they go 0-4. No way.
Well,
no shot.
Yeah, well, they're 0-3. It would be 0-3.
0-3, sorry.
Yeah.
But I think this is where they start turning it around. I am surprised to not see Brundle's name on there. I'm not sure.
I am too.
I'm not sure if he had a previous commitment. I'm sure Conant can let us know in the comments what's going on with that. But I'm surprised because I thought, I think Brundle's only fished once this year.
Yeah.
And he fished well, I thought.
Very well.
He was putting up a lot of their fish. But I would not want to fish against Matt Conant right now, man. Like, he's mad. he's mad. So don't want to fish against a pissed off Conant.
Let me say this, man. I'm gonna piss him off even more. I love Conant, man. Good. I mean, I respect the hell out of him. His KFL performance has not been great. Straight up. Last game, not impressed. Dude, if you go back and look at some of the other games he's fished, it hasn't been impressive, man. I mean, he hasn't blown it out of the water. It has not been a Matt Conant style type ordeal. I don't know if Matt, because it's team fishing, he's kind of like holding off the gas for a little bit or something, and he's trying to like make this like more of a team like thing. Dude, like they need him to literally take this game, put up like 180 inches on the board himself, and just let everybody else follow. He's got to freaking go after it, man. You know what I mean? I want to see 10 fish from Matt Conant this Saturday, man. Let's go.
I don't think Conant, not that I'm saying he's not a team player, but I don't think Conant it does that. Like
Blackbeard. Thanks, Greg. Started Conant my fantasy now.
I think Conant always wants to show up.
I love Conant, man. I love him. But you know what? Go back. You don't believe me? Go back and look at some of the stats. I had the opportunity to look at some of the. I mean, I'm telling you, like in national tournaments, he'll blow you out of the water. But in KFL, I'm just telling you, look at the stats yourself.
Yeah, I just think he's getting I think he's getting a little harshly judged for namesake there. I've seen plenty.
He is, because we have higher expectations for the Triple Crown champion. You know what I mean? He's also on a team that's 0-2. And he was there on the water when they lost to Rhode Island. Okay? I mean, I'm just calling it the way I see it, man. You know?
Yeah, and I think there is a thing.
And right now, Conant's going right out there sharpening his hooks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's absolutely sharpening his hooks.
And I just do think there is a thing, though, that, and I mean, Greg, we talked about this a little bit, kind of on every show, about like how the fish are setting up right now and like how it's been a little weird and how we're talking about guys that have been very successful, have kind of struggled. I think Conant fits in that mold right now.
Yep, I agree.
Like, he's so experienced and he's so used to catching them that I think maybe adjusting has been a little tougher for Matt recently. Yeah. And so, but like it's getting hotter and hotter. Those fish will start to set up in their more traditional patterns. And I think it's only a matter of time before Matt kind of busts out of that slump a little bit.
Yeah. And you know, we talked about this, but this has got to be Ken Wood's week, man. You know, I think him and Matt fight for each other in terms of like, you know, trying to who's going to be the dominant, the A guy out of this team. If both these guys take it as a competition amongst themselves, they blow Bay State Attack out of the water. Okay. And then also the KFL debut of Nate Shagdon's going to be there. Nate just won a local event there. He's fishing very well. And what does that say for Bay State Attack? I'm not sleeping on these guys. Look, man, Paolo DeMorris and Dom Eno are two really good fishermen right now.
Yeah.
Again, these guys are going to go out there and absolutely put it on them, man. I mean, they're not afraid of these guys. They all fish together. Valber Santos, another great fisherman, had a great year last year with Bay State Attack. Even in a you know, basically a really not such a great season. But Bay State Attack, man, they are a little bit more competitive this year. But dude, you got to put a W on the board. Let's see what these guys have.
Yeah, and for me, man, it's just the game is way more about Massachusetts' performance than Bay State. Like, if Bay State goes out and throws up 198, okay, like I'll eat my words. But I think this is just on Mass. Like if they fish well, I think they take this matchup easily. And if they don't, we will be on here next Thursday talking about roster moves, probably.
Yeah. Well, Conant said that Bass Boat tournament for DB. We got it, man. But you're right, dude. I mean, look, can you imagine if they go 0-3? Like, if they go 0-3, does DB pull the trigger and start dismantling this team?
I'm not going to say like it's necessarily a dismantle, but I think there will be some shuffling, like something in like
that's what I'm saying, like shakeups, right?
Yeah, or maybe have guys that fish too similarly. Like you're not covering. You need like we keep talking about all these teams that are inserting like these young unknowns, or maybe not even unknowns, but like young up and coming talent because their mentality about how they think about attacking the lake is normally very different.
Yeah.
Hey, dog.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Very interesting about this one, man. But we've got the Maulers 9.5-point favorites, man. So,
yeah,
let's go. Let's see what happens. All right, now this is the matchup I want to talk about. This is the matchup I want to talk about right here, right now. Somebody get Carl Hegarty on the phone or Chris Santoro, either one.
God.
Of them.
Carl,
have a message me. I want either one of them or both of them or whatever. I want them on. Okay, I've got to talk about this. These teams hate each other. Okay, they hate each other, and this all started back in week 1. There was accusations of Pennsylvania, basically launching and following and all this other stuff, and it kind of blew up at Champlain. I had to get involved. I said, hey, guys, look, man, you already won against in week 1. Leave these guys alone at Champlain. You're not even playing these guys. You better concentrate what you got in front of you. Delaware Doom actually got beat at Champlain. I guess they were kind of worried more about what Pennsylvania's doing. And then we had a show Sunday, and, I was talking about, hey, man, this is on the Susky. Pennsylvania guys on the Susky, pretty dangerous, right? Mm-hmm. We also found out that Mick Wood is not fishing this, but that Nick Audi is fishing this, right? Yeah. So that's a huge change, right? And then old Carl Hegarty posts that says that J.R. Ritz from Delaware Doom basically has outfished all this team, Nate Hall, Chris Santoro, Nick Audi, and Mark McCalmer on the Susky all by himself. Like, it basically, like, I went back to these Tourney X stats, and J.R. Ritz finished 20th or 22nd. Okay? And Chris Santoro did not take well to that. And, buddy, go back and look at those comments. They went off. It was, dude, they can't stand each other. Okay? Again, this reminds me of the old Redskins Cowboys. This reminds me of the old Steelers Ravens. This reminds me of, just like these hated rivalries. And I'm telling you, these guys don't like each other at all. I love it. I mean, it's look, you say, well, are you trying to promote fighting or anything? They're not fighting. They're arguing and trash talking and everything else. But I'll tell you what, a lot of feelings got a little chapped here in this matchup, man. And whoever wins this matchup, dude, get ready because the boards are going to light up, man. The boards will light up.
Well, I mean, let's jump right into it. Greg, who you got?
I got Pennsylvania.
Do you?
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. I do. I've got Pennsylvania. I do. I mean, look, Nick Audi, Nate Hall, Chris Santoro, and Mark McCalmer, they all know the Susky real well. I don't care how great J.R. Rentz is. I don't care. I just think it's basically, you got local boys on the Susky. I think it's a Hobie event. Isn't it a Hobie event this week?
It's soon. I'm not sure when.
Yeah, well, anyway, they're on the Susky, man. I like Pennsylvania, but it's going to be close. It's going to be close. That's why we have them 1.5-point favorites.
Oh, man. I think that's the safe pick. But I don't really like that because I think the Doom, for whatever reason, their team makeup, I think they handle the competitiveness, the trash talk a little better. Bronzebacks have been a little soft.
Ooh.
Wow. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? They've not really just kind of brushed off the trash talk and said, hold this L.
It's definitely gotten in their heads a little bit more.
It's gotten in their heads a little bit. Where Delaware Doom seems to be more than happy to engage in these like tactics.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. The Susky at Hobie is July 30th and 31st.
Yep.
So, and I mean, maybe, you know, that'll light something up for the Bronzebacks, but I just feel like if this matchup doesn't start well for them, the Doom goes out and just throws up like 160, 170 off the rip.
Right.
I think they kind of crumble. I think they're going to get out of their comfort zone. I think they're going to start fishing a little fast. Where I'm not really sure that'll happen to the Doom. Like if Bronzebacks go up big to start, I think Doom will kind of just be like, yeah, we're doing our thing. They just seem like they get a lot less rattled. So Pennsylvania, prove me wrong. Go out there, put up some big fish, get on camera, show us y'all catching some monster smallmouth, and go get a W. And if not, I'll be on here next week ripping y'all for being soft. So,
yeah,
that's all I can say.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. Yeah, that's it's gonna be fun. This is the matchup I cannot wait to watch. And I'm broadcasting Saturday. Like me, Robert, and Lauren Fury agree on, and I want to get these guys on. And trust me, we're gonna get both competitors on at the same time, and we're gonna let it fly. It is what it is, man. We want to hear it all.
I want to see their fish do the talking. Like I've heard,
I do too.
Enough
but I want to see a big old 18 or 19 smallie, and then I want to hear it all.
It's a
like
Susky,
smacking
20 something.
Oh yeah. I want to see it.
Both these teams have done a lot of talking, so let's see some fish, boys. That's all I can say.
Yep. All right, next matchup, man. And again, by the way, if either I just reach out to Chris or Carl, and if we can get either one of them on, we're gonna break to them because I want to talk about that game. So anyway, Indianapolis Knights, Alabama Hammers. Man, I'll be honest with you, dude. I'm not impressed with this Lake Windowy yet, man. This Alabama Hammer Lake that they've been bringing them to, I don't think they've caught a limit yet.
No, I don't know, man. I guess that's a.
I heard decision. The river was blown out. I heard the river was. I mean, look. Here's the deal. I'm just telling you straight up. With all the lakes that they have in Alabama, they chose this one, and it hasn't showed out, man.
It's weird because it's like they don't have Gunnersville there or something.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Yeah. I don't know. But, I mean, I hear this lake is great, but, I mean, quite frankly, I wouldn't be taking, my entire season there because one guy on your team was a guide, Tim Perkins there. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, man, I've not been very.
Hey, here's the deal, Robert.
Yeah, I've not been very impressed with the Hammers. And the Knights, they've just kind of been a model of mediocrity for me.
Wow.
In the league, they talk a lot, don't really put up that impressive of performances, and so go down to Alabama and win by more than 3.5 or put up some good bags, and then I'll shut up. But it's kind of where I'm at with that, man. Like I mean, how do you feel about it, Greg? You think they've been like outstanding? Like they're a team we rarely talk about because I just don't feel like they ever got much going on.
I don't think Indianapolis, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think they've won a road game yet. Even in 2 years.
I'm just saying, man. Like they've just kind of been like they're the Dallas Cowboys. You're 8-8 every season, and you keep posting stuff like you're champions. Like let's go get a road win. You have an Alabama team that's been struggling, so get a dub, man.
Look, I don't fault them for being awesome content, awesome graphics, awesome all that stuff.
Yes.
I mean, Sam and his crew are doing a fantastic job.
Yes.
Exactly what we want. But like you said, you got to put yourself into a situation where you got to not only do all that stuff, but you got to let your fishing do the talking. You know what I mean? And so, look, Mike Elsey, Brian Sparks, Adam Murray, and Sam Jones, great foursome. I think they go down to Alabama and take the dub, man.
They're good fishermen.
I think they do. I think they take a dub on the road for their first.
I'm not ripping them as like people. I'm saying like you guys have been the Dallas Cowboys. You have all this great content and merch and all this stuff, and then your record is just very mediocre. So
Right.
back up everything else right you're doing.
So are you saying Indianapolis is the America's team?
They in their heads they think they are. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, man. I mean,
okay, so if they go to Alabama, is that going to wake you up and say, that's a quality team, quality win?
I'm going to say that's like a big step in the right direction. When you go down to something that's not in your comfort zone and you pull a dub, that's what we expect, right?
Jason Cassie throwing the American flag in your face, man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, look, this is the same thing we told the Copperheads last year. They're doing photo shoots, getting jerseys printed, and then they go on the road and get blown out by 60 inches. But they've corrected some of that. They went out this year, went on the road, got some W's, and now we take them much more seriously.
Here's another thing. Alabama, I'm gonna call you out. You got to get on air. You got to get on air. We got to see what you're doing. Like Indianapolis, the last time I actually broadcasted that game, Alabama, some of the guys were on there, like 2 of their guys were on there for like 10 minutes, and then they vanished. We got to see you. We got to see this Lake Windowy. We got to see what's going on down there, man. You know what I mean? Like, get on air. Let's see what you got. I know the Knights will be. The Knights, they'll absolutely be on air and showing the content, seeing what's up, good, bad, and the ugly. But, man, Alabama, I got to see what you're doing, man.
And I want the Knights to do well. They have the best name in the whole league. So there you go.
Good stuff. All right. Good stuff. All right. Next one. Motor City Ambassadors going to Nickajack, man. Taking on Tennessee Shiners.
I think this is an awesome matchup. Like, this is what I've been wanting to see. And I hate that it's a 10-point, swing, but it's all Nickajack, man.
Yeah.
It's all Nickajack. And that team, Tennessee's fielding, is disgusting. Ewing Minor is filth, man. I mean, he's a top 5 player in the league for me. I think he could literally go to any team and be one of the best 4 guys on the team.
What did Robert say the name of that lake again, mofo? What, Nickajack or Wendowy? I don't know. What are you talking about? Robert, you're drunk again, man. Crazy. All right. I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know, man, but to say what I'm saying about Ewing, I think he could literally go to any team in their home state and be one of the best 4.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters what state. Like, Ewing can fish everywhere. He's very adaptable, and that scares me for Motor City.
What's Robert Brown talk? That's too close. What is it? What am I not getting here?
I think,
Nickajack?
Yeah, I think he's insinuating something. But anyways, Robert, come on, man.
Okay. I get what you're saying now. Okay. All right, now I understand. Okay, all right. I'm sorry, brother.
Just, as if that's not enough to have Ewing, there's also a Bassmasters Classic champion in my man Eric Siddiqui.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then there's Josh Stewart and Ethan Jett. So,
yeah,
that's a pretty tough roster. I'm sorry, Motor City. I'm picking Tennessee. I don't really need to expand on it any more than that.
Here's the deal. I love Motor City guys. Zach, Jeremy, David, George, all great guys. I'm going to ask you a question straight up. Where's Jeff Fader? Jeff Fader was on their squad, best player on their team last year, Motor City All-Pro. They're 2-0. They're on the road. They need a guy like Jeff. Where's he at, man? We're 3 games in.
City...
We're 3 games in now, and we have yet to see the man who was All-Pro last year.
I just feel like Motor City in this game, I think I'm not going to call this like a B squad. I just feel like they're not fielding their strongest team, and they're just like, make a miracle happen. There's no shame in taking an L here.
Yeah.
I feel like that's kind of what it is. I mean,
Jeff has prior commitments. Okay.
Yeah. And he may have that. And like I said, it's not like it's a B squad. I just feel like in a matchup like this, that's, you know, very crucial for Tennessee, and you're already an underdog here, I think you just send guys that are feeling confident, man. And
Yeah.
they're 2-0 without Fader. So, like, these guys probably feel good. They probably feel like they have a chance going in here to steal a game. And if they do win, that's what I would call that. I would call that a huge steal.
So look, Motor City obviously has the edge here in this game. And the reason why I say that is because they already beat Tennessee head to head, okay?
Right.
Motor City can put, I mean, literally their foot on Tennessee's throats if they win this matchup somehow, some way.
Yeah,
that's 2-0 against them heads up, 2-0 against them in the division. It's over for Tennessee when that happens. I mean, they don't have a chance to win the division. They might be scrapping for a wild card place. Dude, Motor City could, I mean, honestly shake up things in the KFL North if they win this matchup.
Okay, but look, just let's take a objective look at this. Like, we're not looking at records. Like, we're just flat up this week, this matchup. If Motor City goes in there, massive steal, right?
Yep.
Like, we would call that a massive upset.
Yep.
And so 4 games like that, when probably most of the people on your roster might not even have experience on that lake, if you've got guys you've been winning with that say, yeah, put me in for that matchup, like, I feel good, like, you know, I'm just going to go do my thing, I'm starting those guys, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying they're mailing it in, but what I'm saying is, you know, you send your guys and you're like, man, if you get a dub, this is massive. And, you know, you let them lie where they may. It's a 1-day deal, man.
Yep. It is. It's a one game, 1 day deal. And it's not like it's too far away from these guys, you know, to get down to Nickajack from Michigan. I mean, it's not like it's, you know, like 12 or 13 hours, and maybe for some of the guys at the UP, but I mean, like, where's Polens? Where's Fader? You know, where are these guys? I mean, this is, you know, if this is where you got to have your best guys fishing your best on this particular lake, man. Let's go. I mean, who knows? They may pull it, but you know what? George Neiman is no stranger to this lake. He understands it. He's fished here before. So, man, but you put Eric Siddiqui and Josh Stewart on this lake, I think it's game over, man. I think it's game over.
Man, Greg, you said it earlier, like, momentum is a huge deal. If you got guys that feel good, you might not need a Polens throwing a chatterbait all day or a Fader, man. Like,
yeah, I hear you, man. But you know what? Hey, look, Polens is cashing checks, man. So
yeah, he is.
Chatterbait on, my friend.
No,
you know what
I'm saying, like, great fisherman, but like, Motor City may just look at that matchup and say, this is the best we got.
Yeah. Ooh. Well, here's this, man. This is the 0-2 and 0-3 teams that I would never expected them to be here right now. Norfolk, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't know what their mindset is right now. There is another starter, by the way. It's Jacob Novak starting this game. So there is a fourth here at Norfolk. But man, this is I don't know, man. Norfolk's basically they're spinning out, man. I mean, they're winless. They're at home against Tar Heel on an awesome Lake Western Branch. Tar Heel Lunkers are 0-2, or I'm sorry, 0-2, or no, they're 0-3 with this squad. And I'll tell you what, Tar Heel is bringing their best right now to Norfolk. They need this win. They got Matt Dunn, Mike Wimmer, Don Charles Sullivan, and Dave Hart. I think that's their best 4. Taking on Norfolk Privateers, a Robert Brownless team that for the rest of the season, I don't know where Norfolk goes from here, man. I don't think they win this game, dude. I don't think they win it.
Who's their fourth guy?
I'm sorry, it's Wyatt Novak. Wyatt Novak. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. I think Norfolk's going to take an L here.
Yeah.
We looked at earlier, you know, we had some stats up, some biggest bass. You know, the biggest bass caught in the KFL so far. No surprise Robert Brown is up there in the top 3.
Right.
No surprise. And I think that's, you know, kind of what we expect from Robert, that he's going to throw up a big one. But that's huge in KFL matchups when you get a kicker.
Kicker's like huge.
A gigantic kicker can eat up so much. Like, it takes so much pressure off y'all to just you can keep Cullen with 16s and 17s, and the other team has to catch a 20 plus. Has to, you know, if you all have that. So, Norfolk, I just not feeling it, man. And I feel like Tar Heels brought the heat with their roster, man. So I got Tar Heels taking it.
Sorry, my gosh. We have a special guest, y'all.
Uh-oh.
You ready for this?
Yeah, let's get it.
We're gonna take a little pause here. Let's go. Chris Santoro, what's up, baby?
I have no idea what this is about.
Hey, thanks for coming on. Listen, y'all sit back and listen to this, man. We talk about your matchup against Delaware Doom. Okay,
got it.
Chris, he's with the Pennsylvania Bronzebacks, and we went into great detail about your matchup and also how Carl Hegarty is chirping that chirp, man. Let's talk about some of this, man, and let's just bring the sauce. I want you to be honest with me. I mean, you and Carl had it out, man. You guys don't like each other, man.
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't even say we had it out. I mean, I honestly would say that this is purely based off of us going into this game. I am pumped for this. I mean, this is like an actual, like, legitimate matchup that has playoff implications already in the season. So it's one of those things where it's a must win for us. It's a must win, not just for our record, but for the fact that this is our home body of water, which for on the record, we give people the Susquehanna River as our home body of water. It is probably the most recognizable body of water out of most of the Northeast teams' home lakes or home bodies of water. So we give people a tremendous advantage, and we give up a lot of home field advantage because of it. So there's a lot of that going into the thought process based on, you know, our decision making, the way we want to fish, how we're going to do it, and then even the tournaments that were previous to this, how we set up those and how we practiced. And, you know, I mean, I fished a tournament this last Saturday. JR did as well. JR did really well, came in third. I'm pretty positive I know the section of the river that he fished. That section fishes really well this time of year. I fished a section that was more, let me test the waters. If it hits, it's going to hit really well. And I didn't fish clean that day at all. I lost probably 2 or 3 fish that would have helped me put me in the top 10, top 15, whatever. I don't care about that. I lost those fish. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But like it was about practicing. It was about seeing what's out there. It was about ensuring that we can get a W this weekend. And I think we have a pretty good plan going into this. So.
Right.
Man, Chris, you've got a good mental game, man. You might need to offer free counseling to some of your teammates.
I mean,
that's what I want to hear. Like, I love hearing that, you know, he could be on there, y'all ripping at each other, and you're like, yeah, I'm not even mad. Like, I'm just ready to whoop that ass.
No, I think that's part of, Greg, you and I have talked about this, about how we found the KFL to fill this void of us and our competitive need for sports and things like that. I played college football. I was the guy on the offensive line that would call out the mic and call him whatever I could think of. I was trash talking constantly. I was learning about these people on Facebook the night before the game, talking about their sisters, their moms, their girlfriends. Like, that was my MO. Pissing people off was something that I did regularly. And if I could do that a little bit and give us something, I'm going to try. I've definitely lost touch, but it's kind of fun sometimes, but you got to know when to turn it on and turn it off. So
so rate Carl's trash talk, like, coming at you guys like that. I mean, like, on a scale of 1 to 5, I mean, how good or weak was his trash talk?
It started out really strong. It started out really good.
I agree. Like when he called you and said, hey, you did really well, you almost finished top 20. I thought that was great. That was a hammer down.
Yeah, that was great. And then I gave him sarcasm right back and was like, oh wow, that was really creative. I mean, that was good. That's up there. That's way up there. And the thing is, I'm the kind of guy that will admit that 100% and be like, oh, you got me. I'm not one to back down from that either. So it's like, all right, I had to dig and I had to figure something out to try and get him to realize what was happening. But then he kind of stopped. He turned it down a notch, and he was like, wait.
He tried to give you a little olive branch, which I thought was weak.
Yeah, I don't need an olive branch. We're in this together. We're doing the same thing here. We're trying to get in each other's heads. We're trying to give somebody on our team a little bit of a mental competitive advantage. And I wanted to keep it going, and if it took me all the way into the game on Saturday morning, and I was posting something at 4:45 in the morning, then it was going to do that.
Nice, I love that.
Hey, Chris, this is what I'm talking about. It's juicy, man. It's so juicy.
Yeah, Chris, for the people that they're scouring their fantasy lineups for this week. Any bronze backs they need to be starting? Give us the juice.
Nate Hall, and I would start Nick Audi as well. Nate
double down.
Yeah, Nate is an unbelievable angler to begin with. He's kind of flown under the radar, fishing a lot of local stuff in PA, but at the same time, he's dabbled in the KBF stuff across the Northeast and done really well. So if you check his track record, the guy fishes really well in a lot of different places. Historically, he's done really well in the river. So this is something that you might want to think about as far as putting him in your lineup. And Nick as well. Nick's somewhere in the mind space of, I'm just going to go out and fish, and I'm going to fish the way I know how. And lately, the way he wants to fish is really good. So you can't really go wrong with choosing Nick in your lineup, to be completely honest.
So I got a question, man. Let's go back to week 1, man. You guys went to Delaware. What was your group chat like after taking that loss? I mean, there was a lot of complaining going on, man. I want to hear like the behind the scenes. Like, I heard the lakes were trash. There were puddles, there were ponds, there was accusations of guys following each other. I mean, there had to have been just an absolute explosion in your chat, man. What happened there?
I mean, the biggest thing we talked about was where they put us, and I would say that was the majority of the conversation. Other than us not having any knowledge going into that of where we were fishing, what we were fishing, or what these places even look like, I think that was our biggest kind of pet peeve. I would say that like once we got it, like the hour after the game where we were all fuming, as soon as that hour was done, we were kind of like over it as a team. Individually, I'm not sure, but as a team, it was kind of like, all right, we have a game next week. We got to figure it out. We can't start off that way where we have this commanding lead, and then in the last 6 minutes, you find out that you're not in the lead. It's tough. I mean, that's heartbreaking. If we had found out like 6 hours before that, I don't think it would have been an issue. I don't think we would have gotten through that a little bit sooner, but I think it's just the way things shook out that we were a little caught off guard, and it kind of pissed us off, and rightfully so. I think any team in that situation would have been pretty pissed off if you go into something thinking, oh, wow, this is a great win. Great team win on the road. And then all of a sudden at 1:45, you see that, the sandbagging accusations. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And the thing about the sandbagging is it's like the act was sandbagging. Was it part of their strategy? I don't know. Who cares? Call it what it is. And that's fine. Let's move on. Whatever it was, it worked. You beat us. Like, what are you going to do? We had to move on. We had to go into game 2 knowing we were 0-1. And it was a tough situation.
Yeah, let's talk about. I mean, game 2. Go ahead, BK.
I was like, that's interesting because y'all are seasoned. Y'all fall fish tournaments. There's like no defense. I mean, what you catch. Guys are going to submit photos late. I mean, none of y'all could have really been that surprised about that.
I think we were surprised because in our minds, we've approached the league in a way of entertainment first and then fishing second. Mm-hmm. So for having somebody not on camera all day,
that's what it should be,
all of a sudden, for having somebody not on camera all day and then all of a sudden have 160 inches all by themselves, it's tough because, like I said, in our head, we're on camera as much as we can be, and we had a guy off camera all day too, and it's an older guy. He is struggling, but we've gotten him to a point where he's getting comfortable with the technology itself. So we've been working on that since week 1 to try and figure that out. But it's one of those things where we take a more league-based approach than our individual team and our individual effort-based approach. And I think Nick and Ryan are good examples of that as far as making sure that we have service in the areas we do, making sure that somebody is talking about something relevant to the game on camera, everything they give us more of a rundown about what we should be talking about, sponsors we need to mention, things like that before we even think about fishing, which again, I don't know how many other teams do that the way we do it, but I think it's a good kind of principle to kind of say, it's an entertainment thing first. It's an educational thing first, and then the team.
Preach it, Chris.
part
Come on,
comes
let's
after.
go.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think there should be, in my small Yakfish Chris Humble opinion, that there should be not necessarily like rules around having people on camera or like penalties, but maybe some more guide rails on it and some more concrete stuff. But again, this league's evolving. We'll figure it all out and we'll get there in due time. And that's what I love about this is that we have input into what is done. We have a say into how this thing is built.
You absolutely do.
I love that. Yeah.
100%. I mean, this is an angler driven league. And trust me, Chris, I will promise you this. I was actually talking to Justin Query about this. We're taking notes, man. Who's doing what and when, how, and all that stuff. And, we're just taking notes. That's all I'm going to say about that. You know what I mean? That's all we can say. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. And
either you're going to understand this concept or you're not. And we'll figure it out. It all shakes out at the end, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have a good idea of who's doing this, that, and the other, but I do want to go back to this because we did have some stuff, it wasn't just y'all's matchup with the sandbagging. There is no, I know it hurts to lose. Like, I get it. Trust me. But everybody wants to see inches on the board. But if it does happen, I'm a little, it's been surprising to me as a tournament angler to see guys get so spun out about it at the end. Because it happens every time to us in regular tournaments. You get back and some guy was 4 miles back in a creek and he comes up and he's like, oh yeah, I had 106. And you're like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
I thought I had this one with 94.
But I think I don't think it's the actual act of sandbagging. We know that that's part of the game. And we understand that it could have been their strategy. And that's fine. If that's your strategy.
But it shouldn't be with the KFL.
Exactly.
Because we want live sports.
And that's my point. Yeah. I wanted to see, that's the thing. If we see him catch those fish live, one of us is moving. One of us is going to another lake to make a
sandbagging.
No, Chris, this is exactly what I'm talking about. That is so strange to me that you guys would sit on what you think is a lead or try to play defense. The second you guys stopped culling or you weren't really navigating a better bite, why was there not a discussion earlier about guys, we're on 170 or whatever? That's still it's not done.
Yeah, no, there's two reasons why we didn't actually move from our spots. One being we did see bigger fish in those areas, and Nick saw them on live scope. I know Ryan saw some bigger fish on live scope. I personally saw them with my own eyes. Obviously they just weren't ready to react.
Sure.
So that was part one. And we were in our group chat on the side talking about these things, saying, I see big fish here. If I can get one to bite, I'm going to stay, because we have a lead, that's fine. Honestly, if it was closer, one of us would have moved and not necessarily tried to find them or anything like that, but to try and, find a different kind of bite, because it was, it definitely slowed down for us. And that's fine. That happens. And then I think the other piece is going into it. The only information we had was some studies that Delaware State Parks did about the fisheries, and the ponds we had chosen had the larger averages in those studies. So we wanted to pick those general areas because of those studies and stay in those because, obviously your odds are better in those areas. So that was the initial discussion of trying to stay there most of the day. And I'm honestly, there's decent fish there. I just wish it was, a constant thing of what we're used to on something like Susquehanna, where every fish is going to be 14 inches if you're in the right area. Where I caught, I don't know, probably 25, 11 to 13 inch fish on where I was. So, and that was the other thing. I was still catching fish. I was getting bit constantly. They were just all 11 to 13 inches. I think I'm in the middle of editing my video from week one, and I think I have, 35 fish catches on camera, but only, 2 were keepers. So that was why I stayed where I was, because I was like, the law of averages says I should run into an 18 to 20 incher right now. So,
interesting. Okay. Yeah.
Sure.
So I agree. Everything you laid out there, I love the thought that goes into it, all that. I was only bringing that because you said if we had known it was closer, we might have instigated a move where that shouldn't be a thing, in my opinion.
But I think
Like
I think it's a thing because KFL is a different strategy. I think I approach it differently than a normal tournament because it is like, I mean, it's not a 1v1, but it's something that you can kind of see the score ticking up. I mean, like, think about it football wise. You're in the fourth quarter and you're down by 7. You're going to change your strategy that you've been doing the entire game to make sure that you get those 7 points. So
yeah, but even then, like when you're talking about catching like 25 fish that are 10 to 13 inches long, like upsize your bait, up to different presentations, stuff like that.
I mean, I did all of that. I threw a different color jackhammer in 4 different places. I threw I threw a buzz bait everywhere. Most of my fish came on a wacky rig, and even the keepers came on a wacky rig. And I would say that I threw a jig. I went through everything, and then some. So it was one of those things where if we had, I'm not going to blame time on this because, you waste so much time on picking apart a certain area, thinking that it's going to produce after you catch 2 keepers along the same 25-yard stretch. It's one of those things where I definitely wasted time in 2 areas that I shouldn't have even touched. So it's like, would I have known that if I had pre-fished? Maybe, who knows? So I think that's the other piece. None of us pre-fished any of those spots. We didn't get a chance to even see the places we chose with our own eyes until sun up, really. So I think that's the other advantage that you have if you do pre-fish, which we didn't pre-fish much last season either. And we kind of just wung it.
Yeah.
Well,
look, sorry, I was going to say for like the people in the chat, I'm not disagreeing with anything Chris is saying. I think numbers should be posted in live time. I would like to see that because they're posted in live times, guys making different decisions. But it's also part of fishing that's innate to anyone that's ever fished, especially if you fished a tournament, is that at some point, whether you're in a school of dinks, you're just not on the right fish. And it's like, how long do you sit on that before you move that makes you a good or great angler? Like that's like Greg, the tournament you won in Florida earlier this year. I talked to you that morning. You were catching tons of fish and they were dinks. Yep. You early in the day said, I'm moving. I'm going to a spot I don't really know because I'm not on the right fish. You ran into 5 of the right fish. You won the tournament.
Yes.
And that's a thing in KFL. It's a team event, but you have 4 individuals.
But somebody has to do it, right?
Yeah.
Somebody has to do it. A luxury to do it in a team event. Well, somebody can take a swing.
Somebody can, but you can't do that, though, if you don't have a limit. You got to go get your limit, man. And limits are king, okay? And then at that
can't
point,
win if you don't have a limit.
And I think everything for that point is then it becomes an individual event. Like once the team gets the limit, like you work together as a team, then I think at that point your mindset changes. You get into individual tournament mode, and then you go out and catch the big 5 lunkers.
That's a really good point. That's something I probably haven't considered as much as I should have in the past. I think I've been so focused, especially with our season last year, starting off the way it did, on getting a limit and focusing on just upgrading our limit, that I haven't turned on that individual mindset. And that's BK. That's probably why I ended up sticking around so long where I did. I think there's so much experience of me moving and not running into those fish I've been fishing tournaments since 2015 out of a kayak. So it's like one of those things where I have too much experience of moving and not running into the right fish that I'm like, I don't want to be the one to let my teammates down by making a dumb move. So, you know what, Greg, thanks for the tips. I'll see you guys later.
Hey, stay with us, man. If you have time, man, I want to talk to you real quick. So when you guys went 0-2, obviously, those are basically road losses, right? And then you went over to at Candlewood and you beat Connecticut, which is fishing very, very well. That saved your season, man. That saved your season because it set you up for this matchup against, again, another division opponent. And like you talked about in the very beginning, man, this is going to make or break your playoff run if you guys can get in this. And at this point, look, if Connecticut takes another loss, you already have a head-to-head matchup win against them. Man, the division's not out of the question, man, because you have yet to rematch against New York, and you got New York at home. So, dude, it's not over for you guys, man. It's big. This is a big, big deal for you guys this weekend.
Yeah, and that's kind of the way we've approached it. Is that it's not necessarily going to break our season, but this could make this is big redemption from even last season. We expected to do big things last year, especially with the river being our home water and us building our team around experience on the river. It was kind of tough to swallow some of those. And again, we lent ourselves to experience that we fished in the past, and we didn't trust ourselves to make those moves last year. So we know that we're not making those mistakes this year on the river. And I think there's a lot to be said for, not necessarily I don't want to call us the underdogs, but because I don't think we are mentally, I don't think we are, but on paper we are. On paper, we're constantly, behind the 8 ball. And I think, I think we're finally grasping that emotion the right way as a team.
Don't you think, Chris, though, I mean, and this is kind of what we experienced last year, and neither us, your team and my team had a good year last year, but don't you think that we get too cute with this KFL, like individual anglers, and we kind of like submit ourselves to the team when we know that we're supposed to be at a certain place doing our thing, but we're giving up our own style to benefit the team, and it winds up biting in the ass?
Yeah, I would say that was most of our last season.
I agree.
I think some guys on our team got away from their prime tactics, and I mean, especially Nick and Ryan were so focused on trying to be part of the team and make the team better. Towards the end of the season, we kind of started to say, screw it and do what you need to do. And when we went up to Massachusetts and we won up there, like that was such a big confidence boost on what we were doing. I think like they put us on water that produced really good fish. We felt good about the service that we had there. So like the outside factors that we were always so worried about weren't in play. Like we weren't worried about, having to sort through a bunch of 12-inch fish to find decent fish. The only things we were worried about was dealing with DB and hoping that he didn't perform the way he normally would. So like I think when you have those things in order, and I think we do this year, especially on our home games, there's so much less to worry about. So you can just go out there and focus on your own individual fishing. And we're fishing areas this year that we've more or less grown up fishing. So the area I'm picking for Saturday is somewhere that in my gut, every time I've gone out to the river, it says, go fish there. Just go. Like, this area like the back of your hand. This particular boulder holds a 19-inch fish every single time you've been there. Like, just go do it. And I don't do it. So I'm going with the gut. I'm doing my own thing. I'm not listening to anyone else. I'm going to go fish the area that I want to fish this Saturday. And it's going to, I'm banking on our game having some good fireworks with some good smallmouth. So
I'm looking forward to it, man. And again, we're broadcasting this Saturday. I can't wait to get you guys on and against Delaware and let you guys, kind of see each other, on the water. I can't wait to this, man. This is gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting, man. And I know you guys are gonna be throwing some bigs. It's the Susky, and I think there's gonna be a lot of I think this is gonna be one of the most entertaining games that we have. There's a couple of them that I'm looking forward to. But this one right here, man, on the Susky, dude, this is gonna be beautiful.
It might be on the best fishery out of any matchup we have. I'm jealous. That's one place I would love to fish.
We're getting a little rain this week too. Ooh, it's gonna be good.
Little faster water. Good stuff.
It's setting up to be. It's really low right now, but I mean it's typical summer low. But with that little bit of rain, it could set off the plopper bite like you've never seen before. So hopefully it keeps
don't
up.
Give them that juice.
Yeah.
See, but that's the thing. Juice. That's the thing. You type into YouTube right now Susquehanna River fishing, and I guarantee the first lure you see is a whopper plopper.
Oh, sure. Yeah. No, I hear you, Chris. If you guys got to go, we understand. If you're not, hey, jump right in with us, man, and we'll talk with you. Okay, so we talked about Norfolk. We talked about this matchup. BK, we didn't. I don't think we talked about who won or who's going to win. I said Tar Heel.
No, we both said Tar Heels. Norfolk's taking the L. Robert called us crazy. Get out of here, Robert.
Wait.
Okay.
Nathan Green though.
Yeah,
he's always somebody you have to worry about. Always.
He is, but dude, let me tell you a little.
Do you see Matthew Dunn?
Nathan hasn't fished this year a lot. He's been hurt. He had a back injury and a neck injury and everything else, man. He hasn't really, fished a ton, man. I'm a little worried about that. You know what I mean?
Listen, I'm from Philly. We're all about the underdog. Let's go.
Okay.
All right. Hey, another good one. Carolina Castors going to Virginia Reapers, a very hot Virginia Reapers team, undefeated in the Piedmont Division, taking them on at Beaver Dam. Carolina Castors, man. Corey Dreyer is coming to Virginia again. Stephen Bell Jr., Arlie Minton on that team, taking on guys. I'll be honest with you. Tell me if you've heard of these names: Matthew Lewison, Justin Curtis, Ryan Sarko, and Jeremy Hofstetter. You haven't heard about them. But let me tell you something. When this season's over with, you're going to hear about them. You're going to know who these guys are.
I can't believe this is only a 5-point favorite. I'm shocked. I thought it would have been close to 10.
You think with Corey Dreyer and Carolina coming into town, it's
I had to watch Stephen Bell catch a 22 on a spinning rod on a horny toad, and we pulled it up. It was the skinniest 22-inch fish I've ever seen. That spinning rod made it look like a beast.
Yeah.
And for that, you lose 5 points. So 10-point favorite.
Well, that was a North Carolina fish. What do you expect, man? Virginia got a little bit shoulders, man.
And Virginia's hot right now, man. Sarko's fishing great. And I think when you look at that team, you might say Sarko is like the one, I'm not going to say question mark, but the other guys, like, if you don't know them, they're sticks. So you might be on the fence about Sarko. And if that's your biggest concern, you're in good hands with the way he's been fishing. So.
Right.
That's what I got, man.
Here's my 2 cents. I think Corey Driver, it gives you those 5 points. I think that's why it's only that's it. I mean, I've learned a lot from Corey, and I think he's one of the guys you have to constantly like look over your shoulder and be worried about when you're fishing a tournament. So I think that's where you get those points from.
He figures it out. Look, he went over to the Res against us. Didn't know it, didn't see it. I mean, maybe fished 6 hours on the freaking thing, and it winds up pulling up like 6 bass. Dude, I haven't caught 6 bass in pre-fishing like in a month there. Okay,
Greg. Then who are you picking?
I'll be honest with you. I think it's gonna be closer. I think it's gonna be closer than you think. I do like Virginia here because they're at home. But man, dude, I think this is gonna get close, man. I think this is gonna be coming down to just a couple inches. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout by any means, man. I like Arlie Minton too, man. The guy can fish. He's patient, dude. Loves that jig. It's a jig biting weather, man. You know, it's hot, it's humid. Man, I think Carolina, man, I don't know. I think they lose the game, but it's not gonna be by much, man. I think Virginia Reapers takes it.
Chris, what do you got?
I got Virginia Reapers taking it, but again, really close. I think Corey puts up a really good fight. I think his individual effort should be noted. And Greg, like you said, Arlie, that jig bite, if it's on, you might catch 1 or 2 giants based off just
right
pure fishing a jig. So it could be close.
I have news for you guys. The other team also fishes jigs.
Yeah, they do. I understand, but you know what? Some guys have that touch. Some guys don't, man.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, yeah. So anyway, it's good. It's good to match up either way. We need Carolina. We need Carolina to win. But to be honest with you, I want the Warhawks because we faced them the following week at Diaskin Reservoir. I want them undefeated so we can take and just steal their heart and soul out of their freaking throats. So let's go. All right, this is the other entertaining matchup. I can't wait to watch, man. This is going to be so good. The Swamp Donkeys and Florida Copperheads. Russ Kennedy, Bobby Moore, and Bob Brisky, Robert Brooks. Bobby Moore's on his way down now to this matchup, man, against the Florida Copperheads. Conrad Benetti, Thomas Woodring, Matt Kasperek, Sherman Bishop is out. Jason Denise is in. 10.5-point favorites at Fellsmere. Copperheads. This is going to be a fun one to watch, man.
No John Fox.
No John Fox.
Did they bench him because he lost to you or what?
I would have benched him if they would have lost to me too. You know what I mean? In fact, I don't think he's going to be on the team this whole next through the season. It's embarrassing for this team.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, 10.5, man. Golly. Man.
It's a lot of points, but
That's
I think
a lot of points.
Yeah. I think it's purely based on that first name on the Copperheads list and the smack talk that he brings. He's blown it up. Although he's been quiet lately from what I've seen.
He's been quiet,
talking,
dude.
Yeah, he's been talking more with this fish. And I like that.
He has been very quiet. He's been very, very quiet, man. I mean, like oddly quiet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it almost feels like he's going to come out with some great meme in the next 2 weeks, and he's just been holding it back.
I don't know, man. But I tell you what, Matt Kasparek has been memeing people to death. It's been fun. It's been exciting. It's been laughable. But I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. But I don't know, man. Look, Florida Copperheads. I think they take it. I can't. Can you hear me now?
I can, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, guys. My plug just got unplugged. But I don't know why Sherman's not fishing this game. This team's a lot better with Sherman Bishop, but Jason Denise is no slouch. He's making his KFL debut this year. But man, I will tell you this. I've seen evidence of it. And like I told you last week, do not count out Russ Kennedy. Do not count this guy out. He knows Fellsmere. It's going to be fun. Going to be fun.
Who are you picking, Greg?
I got Copperheads.
I see.
I got Copperheads. Yeah.
I see.
They paid me to say that, by the way.
Something feels vindicating about Big Gun going back to Fellsmere, where I believe, isn't that where he smacked up 110?
Yes. No, it was Kenansville. It was
Kenansville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Man, something just feels like, I mean, Bobby, especially, Big Gun, like what he called a 23 something in his first matchup, right?
Yeah.
I think he did.
He sure did. He did.
Maybe that time away kind of gave him a little
rejuvenated
something.
him.
Yeah, a little bit.
We need to see the old Bobby Morin back, man. We need to see old Bobby Big Gun Morin back, man. Really.
Him and that fancy stash. We need him back.
Oh,
yeah.
God, we need it. But man, it would just be more exciting for that division if Swamp Donkeys could pull this off.
It would be epic.
Man, it's so hard to go against Denise and Thomas.
Yeah.
Kasparek, you've been streaky. When you're on, you're really on, and when you're not, you're 78 inches. So.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't know. I think I'm going to pick the Swamp Donkeys.
Oh.
Can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm doing it.
Oh,
Chris. You just want the drama. You want the drama in that division. I'm picking Copperhead.
I mean, I know, but it's a home game for both teams.
Yeah. That's
what
it
really is.
Say. It really is home game for both teams. And the way that Florida Bass are, if one team figures it out and the other team doesn't, it's a landslide either way.
Right.
If it was in any other state, I wouldn't really say that. But it is Florida fish. So
yep. And they've been very finicky, man. The big ones have been very difficult to find. Like I said, I think it's going to be a game of one or two of these kickers, and that's it, man. The rest are going to be like these standard 17, 16, 15s. I'm telling you.
If it's 20-mile-an-hour winds, do you change your pick?
No.
Because I do think Swamp Donkeys have guys on their team that adjust better.
No, I think
100% agree.
I still think the Copperheads pull it out. It's closer, but I still think that they pull it out. I think they're continuing to make statements, and they're going to. And I think that's just another one. Yeah,
it's good. Man, this is going to be a tough one, man, for the Palmetto Punishers. They're going to Coosa. Neely Henry, man. Coosa is laying the hammer down on this. The four that they're bringing to the water. Yeah. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Coley McGowan, Lance Coley, Joe McElroy, and Jordan Marshall at home, and Neely Henry taking on Barry Davis, who's on his way down, Terry Smith, Scott Simmons, and the KFL debut of Jason Broach, a heck of an angler. Man, like I said, head-to-head matchup-wise, give me Jason Broach versus Coley McGowan. We had Jordan Marshall on last week. I thought he was fantastic as a guest.
Dude, yeah.
But that foursome right there is dangerous.
Yeah.
It's on Neely. Lance Coley and Coley on Neely. I think if that was 2v4, they would win.
They would win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not much to talk about here, I'm afraid. I'm so sorry, Palmetto.
Yeah.
Barry, you're a cool dude.
But okay, let me say this. If Palmetto goes into Neely Henry and actually wins, is it going to be the greatest defeat and upset we've ever seen in KFL?
What lineups considered? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I would say that, especially history of who is on the Kingfishers roster right now. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would
I
be up
agree.
there.
Yeah,
They could shake up the world, man. Shake it up.
If I mean, I don't even see it would be a huge blowout, but that team, those dudes are just. I mean, Joe McElroy, man. I don't know if people know who that is. You should if you don't. Like, that team's just not going to get rattled, man. That's what makes them so scary. I think they're just business, man.
This is a fun group, man. Joe and Jordan, that's a fun deal, man. And Lance is consumed with the KFL. That RPI data that he brought out for the KFL was disgustingly good. It was so good.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm just all about it. All about it.
Shout out to Jordan Marshall for making a drive from Tennessee to Pennsylvania last weekend just to fish a small local trail on the river, just so we could get some time on the water.
Right on. All right, Kraken versus the Slayers, man. This is in actually South Carolina. It's in Clarks Hill. Chris Mitchell coming out of Florida. Ryan O'Neal and Chris Bailey for the Kraken are traveling to the Slayers. This is Josh Steels and Kevin Fox's backyard. Daniel Higgins and Scott Long are also playing for the Slayers, man. We got Slayers 15.5-point favorites. Man, Chris Bailey's making his KFL debut. Chris Mitchell's a stick. I don't know how he fishes outside Florida, man. Never seen it. None of these guys outside Florida have never seen it. I think the Slayers are just going to be too much for these guys, especially with them fishing a man down. It's tough.
Yeah, not fielding a full roster, bad look. Stephen Bell, very proud of you for 3 bait casters now. My man, you're on the way up. But yeah, Southern Slayers, dude, that's a strong squad, and they're at home. So
yeah, you got Josh and Kevin on their favorite lake ever.
Yeah,
I mean, as long as I've known Kevin, he's fished Clarks Hill, and that's 7 years now. So
yeah. They're gonna whoop them. All right, this final matchup, guys, of the night. Man, we got Outlaws taking on the Hogs, a very, very good Hogs team. Ryan Hendricks, Rodney Piper, Jerry T, and Cayman Rasmussen coming from Utah to go to Conway in Arkansas, taking on Cody Milton, Corey Hopper, Chris Wright, and Stephen Dunlop. Man, can the Outlaws do it again? Can they go on the road and upset the world and beat these Hogs on Conway? No chance.
I'm not giving them one. No, I mean, I actually do like the way that Conway sets up for visiting teams. I think it's more accessible than other lakes.
Okay.
But there's a name on the top of that on that list on the right that he's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've donated money to him many times.
Many times. Yes.
And then
I paid his gas bills many times.
Yes. And then Hopper, if you don't know who Corey Hopper is, he shreds in Arkansas, and he shreds on Conway.
No doubt.
So I think I just can't see Milton and Hopper, just the two of them, not catching a limit by themselves. And I think anything Wright and Dunlap throw into the mix here, not that they're slouches, but it's just bonus.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Cody Milton fishing, I think, his third KFL matchup, man. So he's been Mr. KFL, which is great, man. We love having him. Hope to get a little bit on a broadcast come this Saturday. You get to see the man in action. So and Corey Hopper, I love to get those guys and Cayman and Jerry on as well, and we'll see what happens, man.
Chris, what do you got?
I have the Hogs winning. Cody and Conway go together like peanut butter and jelly. So it's not. It's almost like not fair.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Chris, thank you for coming on tonight, man. Dude, I know that was like completely unexpected. We just wanted some inside information, man. You gave us all what we needed, man. It was good stuff, man. Yeah,
I'm all about sharing and caring and giving what I can. So I'll be happy to come on anytime you need me to.
Dude, yeah, great guest, man.
Dude, keep your camera on, bro. Because come Saturday, I'm going to get you and Carl head-to-head pinned up. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, as long as he shows up in a bow tie, because it's going to be a formal affair.
Oh.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, that's
taking him.
I like it.
Taking him to church. Taking him to church.
I like that.
I like it. I like it, man. Hey, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch. Well, dude, good luck this weekend, man. we're not trying to root for anybody here, man. But dude, it would be good for the KFL if you guys take that victory because it shakes up everything in your division, man.
Agreed.
It does. It shakes it up. It's a lot to talk about.
I like it. I like where we're headed.
I do too, man. All right, Chris. Good luck, man.
All right.
Yeah, good luck, buddy.
It's old Chris Santoro, man. Awesome.
Awesome, dude. Man, I wanted to talk about this a little bit. I know we're running a little long in the tooth here, but what he was talking about and what you were talking about, Greg, like fishing more selfishly, or once you're on a limit, expanding, or having a couple guys expanding, and how he was like, man, that's really bit me in the ass in tournaments sometimes. You know who did that better than any other team last year, in my opinion, was the Bandits.
Mm-hmm.
They have guys that throw big baits all day long.
Yep.
They get a limit, and then last year when those fish, they just get 8 big bites across the 4 of them, and it was like you can't beat them. And this year, we've seen the opposite of that, where maybe they're relying on that too much, and they're biting them in the ass. And I love that part of the team strategy, man. I thought that was so interesting, getting to hear the inside scoop on how they're approaching that. So.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like you said, it's time for these anglers. Look, you're a team, but you're better off individually because you've done it so long individually. There is a team concept, I agree, but I think teams that have been successful are letting these anglers just go. You know what I mean? And I think here's another thing too. This is my experience. I think you have to have anglers fishing in and around each other. Like, and I'm not saying the same, all 4 of them, the same area of the lake. But I'll tell you what I truly believe this is what hurt me and hurt the Warhawks game 1 against Motor City. If Victor Hendricks was with me and not Dustin, there's no question we would have won. Because I was on fish and he wasn't. But I'll tell you what, if I had as talented angler as Victor with me and we were able to kind of like smack that wolf pack together, we absolutely would have made up an inch and a quarter, no question. That's what Matt and Jeremy did. And that's what Zach and David did. That's why they won, because they were able to find an area with fish, capitalize it, circle them up, and catch them. And I think if you go out there individually and, you as an angler, dude, as much as I know, 20 yards of a cast makes a huge difference. Like, you can miss them or you can absolutely slaughter them in a school. And if that one guy can find that school of fish and you guys can both kind of work together to kind of round them up, man, dude, I think that's a great formula for these teams to start doing if they haven't already.
Yeah. And, like when he was sitting there talking about he's cycling like a wacky worm and a chatterbait. All I could think about was Derek Brundle. Like, what a weapon it is to have a guy on your team when you have a limit of 16, 17s that he locks like a 6-inch mag draft in his hand. And he's like, I'm throwing this the rest of the day.
Right.
I'm going to stick 2 20s in the boat, but I'm going to stick 2 20s in the boat.
No, I get you, man.
I'm throwing this the rest of the day and I'm going to catch 2 fish.
Yeah. And like we were talking about Chris, man, Chris is a big bait guy. He's a big fish guy. And I think, that's how he fishes. That's just who he is. Like, we have a guy on our team, Mike Hogan. That's how he fishes. It's just no changing the guy. You know what I mean? And that could either hurt you or help you. It all depends. You know what I mean? So again, but it's really good when they're on them. You know what I mean? It really helps fill up that top of the leaderboard. So it's good stuff, guys. Well, guys, good luck this weekend. We'll see you Saturday, man. Dude, great content. Love it.
Dude,
good show.
Get on air. Show us your fish catches.
Yeah, man. Let's go.
If you catch a big old fish, we better be getting message saying, put me on air.
Yeah.
I have something to show you.
Fill up the KBBT. Go to Tourney X. Fill up the KBBT team event. We only need a couple more teams ready to go, man. Just, dude, you're already in the KFL. You're already fishing team events. Freaking do it. It's awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. So let's go.
Copperheads, why are you not starting John Fox? I don't get it.
Great question, man.
I don't get it.
But you know what, dude? I'll tell you what. The 4 that they have on that body of water, pretty solid.
Oh, I know. I know. But like I said, conditions don't play out the way they want. I think Swamp Donkey's doing just better. Just saying.
I'll tell you what. If the Swamp Donkeys do beat it and beat them, Copperheads going to have a lot of questions, including us. We're going to come on there. Where's John Fox?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yep.
He's been so hot. We talked about it, man. Momentum. Gotta start.
Big time.
Gotta
Although I
start.
just crushed that. I crushed that momentum this Saturday, so that's why they're not starting him. All right, guys.
Look
we'll
forward
see.
to your
Man. Have a great
inbox
night.
blowing up. See you later.
We'll see you guys. Bye.